come on, Mike, when you're ready. I hope I just encourage somebody today to know today could be your best day and tomorrow is your future. And it's going to be amazing if you want it to be. And just say, I'm going to do something different today than yesterday. I'm going to be better today. I'm going to believe in it today. And don't do it alone. Please don't do it alone. And the good thing about what you've done is you're all here. So I know none of you are living your life alone. Every single one of you took time to come here to Breakfast of Champions. When most people think Clubhouse is dead, we know better. We know Breakfast of Champions has never died. And we're here. We're still here. And you're reaching out for help. You're here for a reason. You're looking for something, you need something, or you want to give something. You love the conversation. You love the family here. And we love having you here. So make a new friend today. Make a new friend. Reach out. Do an Instagram DM to somebody new. Maybe somebody you haven't ever connected with here on Breakfast of Champions. See what happens. You don't know unless you say hi. All right. Is Krista Laura? I see you at 10:30.
Hello, beautiful. Oh my gosh, that is such an inspiring message, Araya. Thank you so much for coming in. I love hearing your voice. And you are cruising beyond limits and defying all the odds that the doctors said, no, you're not going to be able to talk. And the doctors told me, no, you're not going to be able to walk. And we are here living proof and showing others what's possible. So thank you. Thank you so much for being
Krista
here.
Laura. Y'all are in for a big treat now because now Walking Miracle number 2 is Krista Laura. Krista Laura, you are amazing. Take it away. I adore you. Krista Laura's also been on my show. So if you want to see her amazing story, you can also see that on Get Celebritized on my YouTube channel. She is phenomenal. Worth watching that show as well. Thank you, Krista Laura, so much.
Thank you so much. And I think we need a sequel to that segment because today is yes, we definitely need to connect. Today is April 15th, 2024. It is Monday, and this is the day that is my official retirement from the military today. And I'm celebrating 20. Thank you so much. It is they say when you know it's time to hang them up. And then when you think just like anything in life, you think you know how you're going to feel on that day or when that thing happens, and you just don't know till you're actually sitting in it. And so I'm just so honored and blessed to be here today to share this message with all of you and to celebrate and honor this day and all of our service members. So
thank you for your service.
Thank you. And shout out to Christina. Anybody else here on stage or in the audience, a veteran or a spouse of a veteran? I just want to honor all of you here today because it is so powerful. Awesome. I'm seeing some great things here. I'm going to be catching up with the chat later. But not only is today the start of a new chapter, we are getting into spring. And so I thought that this was a great week for me to, in my community and here sharing with you, how I like to do some spring cleaning. And so I have what's called the Freedom Formula. And so every day this week in my community, my free community, I'm going to be going through the Freedom Formula, which is my 5 ways to have courageous confidence during seasons of change. And so that is really a lot of my message. My message is to help empower every person on the planet, put themselves and their health first for 34 minutes a day, so we can reduce stress and overwhelm of life and live a more fulfilling life. So that is my mission, that I literally wake up, my feet hit the ground, and no matter whether I'm teaching fitness, whether I'm speaking on stages, while I'm doing summits, speaking in my free community, or even out in my community here in Puerto Rico, that is my message, and it is very aligned and it is consistent no matter what, right? So I want that for you. And in order to do that, we have to kind of declutter some of the mind and the heart and our space. And I find that in order for me to be consistent and show up powerfully each and every day, I have to be intentional with the actions and the space that I have and the space that I live in. So I moved here, like I said, 4 months ago now today, to Puerto Rico. So I wrote down every single day for 7 years since the day I started my online business. And I said, I will live 10 steps from the ocean. I knew that the ocean is where I wanted to retire. I knew that that brings me peace. I know that the being on the ocean brings me joy. and just sets my heart on fire, right? And so I knew that this was going to be my life eventually. Now, because I was intentional and I mapped it out. So this is what I like to do, is give tangible strategies and tips and tools to help you map out what your life looks like. Because if we wait until an injury or an illness or a challenge or something that kind of rocks our soul to start thinking about what the next chapter is going to look like, it might be too late. And so what I really like for us to do is kind of strategize what decluttering we need to do. Let's be intentional this week, and let's really spend some time so that we can really map out and get some things out of our mind and our body, or our ecosystem or our relationships, to be able to fuel you forward to this next chapter. So whether it be, maybe you're in a season of change in your career, maybe in your business, you're trying to level up, maybe in your relationships, there's a lot of change that's happening for me. And I'm sure there's a lot of change that's happening for you too, because that's one thing, change is inevitable. And the more comfortable we get being uncomfortable in these seasons of change, the more we can take control, and we'll feel less overwhelmed and stress and anxiety, guilt and shame. And then that just sends us in a not so good space. And then people have an experience with us that isn't so positive. Okay. So I want to help map this out for you as your life tour guide, life and fitness coach, and brain fitness coach. I'd love to help you deorganize and declutter. So I'm going to give you 3 things that we're going to work on. Then I'm going to give you some tangible tips. And then I also want to invite you into my community this week, because every single day this week from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be mapping out the Freedom Formula in a deeper dive. And I'm going to be giving homework and some things that is going to help you take action this week, each and every day, small, deliberate action that will change your life forever. And I want to give you these tools that you can feel really good, and you can feel strong and accomplished and confident that you can take on this next chapter of your life. Okay. So number 1, and I want to hear some of your tips and strategies too, because I don't know it all, right? And what I make up is what I bring to you every Monday in the Motivation Monday and Cruise Beyond Limits, and also here with Breakfast with Champions. Nothing's new, and it seems simple, but if we're not intentional, we need to put it into practice, right? And we might just be in a reaction mode, and we want to make sure that we are putting ourselves in the driver's seat of our life. So put your seatbelt on, strap it on, and let's go, because it's a wild ride. We got to be ready for this change. Okay, so number 1, we have to think about what our work center looks like. Okay, so we spend most of our time doing the mission of our work or our career or our purpose or our business, right? So if you were to look around right now, maybe you're at your desk. Look around right now. What does your office look like? Does it full of clutter? I know for me, like, I am a 3x5 card and Post-it note junkie, and I collect them. And for me, when they add up and I don't go through them and declutter them, it adds up in my brain and in my nervous system. So when I see like dust and dirt and grime, and you have to look at it every day, it's like, oh gosh, it's a reminder and then that can put us in a not so good space. So I want you to think about your environment. Take a look around today. So the first thing I want you to think about is your work center. Okay, so that's where we spend a lot of our time. So we have these like spaces that we go to, and if we're not intentional in the space and decluttering it in a way, then we're not going to be our most creative. We're not going to be our most positive. We're going to be like, oh, now we got to clean that again, or I got to organize that. And it's just like, it's stress, right? So I want us to take this week, and maybe even just today, just to say, okay, what can I do? What are small things that are going to declutter my space and my mind and my nervous system to be able to calm and hit that reset button? Okay, it's very, very, very powerful. So the first one is your office and your work environment. Okay, so we want to be creative. We want to make sure that we create a space that puts us in our best light, right? So right now I have a white wall. I'm here in Puerto Rico. You can't really see but my balcony is right here. The ocean is right here. I designed it that way. I had so many people when life flipped upside down 6 months ago and I had to move. I decided I was going to move to the ocean, and I wanted my office space to be able to look. I literally, right here is my computer and my screen and my light and my whole setup, my calendar. I have a sign right here that says dream big. I have a palm tree right here, and I look out and it's the ocean, right? I had so many people, they're like, Crystal, you can come stay with me for free, whatever, and I'm like, no, I need the ocean. So this is what I want. And I designed the room set up so that I'm exactly what is going to bring me peace and alignment. Okay. So what if you can't live on the beach right now and you love the ocean, or maybe you love the mountains? Can you do a mural? Can you, like my mouse pad, for instance, too? Like my mouse pad has an ocean on it, right? It has the beach like this, and it's a calendar because I know that that's what I look down at almost every single day. And that's what brings me joy. So how can you bring more things that are going to have you be creative and organized and in your best light to bring you joy and excitement to your area? Okay. So if you were to think about, maybe you need a treat, maybe you need an inspiring poster on the wall, maybe you need a mirror that you can write on. The back wall here, for me, you can't see, for those of you who are on video, I have a whole wall of mirrors. So I map out my business and my to-do lists and everything I do. I don't need a whiteboard, right? But if you need a whiteboard to keep yourself organized, buy a whiteboard or paint the wall, like the chalkboard paint, and use it. Or just say, you know what, I have a whole wall of a mirror and I'm going to use my dry erase marker. Make sure you're using dry erase and not Sharpie. So that's the way that I have designed my space, because as working from home for the last 7 years, I've been working from home since 2017. How bizarre is that? Like, it's just, I had to kind of create like what works for me. And I had this like cheapo, not that it doesn't matter how much it costs, but this office chair that made me have poor posture. And up until the time that I moved to Puerto Rico, I didn't invest in a really nice chair. Actually, I did once, and it had a massage chair in it, and then it broke. And then I just didn't replace it. And I ended up getting like this cheap, horrible one that made me have poor posture, bad back. And when I moved here, I was like, I'm getting myself a nice chair. And I had this beautiful, like, velvet, I think it was like $79 at TJ Maxx. Nothing's fancy, right? But it's what brings me joy. And I can feel it. It's comfortable. I'm aligned. I can sit at my desk and I can look. I'm in alignment of my environment. Okay. So it's the little things, right? And it matches. It's on brand. Like, everything just flows. And I've created this space so that when I arrive and do my work, I'm in alignment and I feel calm and I feel peace. Now, I do have, and I'm gonna be honest, here, look at, I have a lit. These are all of my 3x5 cards and Post-it notes. I look down at it every day. I'm like, crap, I have to go through it. So this week, we're going to be decluttering our space. So day one today, we're going to be decluttering our office space. So I'm going to go through this pile today before my head hits the pillow. And I'm going to feel really good because there's probably something in there that I need to do that I forgot about. And so if it's you that I needed to call back, I'm sorry. I'll get to it. Hopefully it's on my list. So decluttering to reset, right? We're all human. I was talking with Diana, my friend Diana is here visiting for the week. And we were talking a little bit about decluttering. She's like, she is a master like organizer. Her and her sister have amazing tools and skills. And if this is not your strong suit, invite someone into your world that can help you do this. And she's here for the week. And so I told her, I was like, we're doing some spring cleaning, some decluttering. So each day we're going to work on this. She's like, do you have a junk drawer? I'm like, I don't have a junk drawer. I have a junk bowl. Like, it's a ceramic bowl that I was going to use for entertaining, which I'm not doing right now. So I have a junk bowl with like all my sunglasses and receipts and mace and all kinds of random stuff in there. So I'm going to be decluttering that too. So think about like, what can you look around that that kind of nags you each and every day? Okay. So number one, your office, your work environment. And then the other thing that I think is very important, especially as a fitness coach, is that you have a space that you go to do your workouts, right? So that is your sanctuary. Your body is your temple. And if you're working on it and you're not intentional with the space and it's a reactive mode, or if you're not actually moving your body every day, this is your gentle reminder that we need to move our body every single day. The body in motion stays in motion. And when you shut down, when your body slows down, it can shut down. And I know. I spent 6 months in a wheelchair while they tried to figure out what was wrong with me. And I never thought I'd be able to be an athlete and run or walk again or dance again. And here I am, defying all the odds because I've been moving my body, because I've been intentional with making sure that I create the space in my schedule, because I know that my life depends on it. It needs movement. It needs to flush out the gunk. And so when we think about decluttering, in order to declutter our mind, we have to flush out by moving our body. So consider also where is that space for you that you need to declutter your mind by moving your body. So that might look like put your yoga mat in the basement or by the window. That it is, that's your space. That's your time where you go there and nowhere else, right? And you're like, okay, this is where I'm going. And the brain needs that. It needs certainty. The brain and the nervous system love certainty. So when you take yourself into a space and you're like, okay, I'm at work mode now. Now, and especially since COVID, some of those lines are blurred, right? If you're working at the dinner table when you're supposed to be, entertaining guests or talking to your loved ones or your children, and those lines are blurred, your nervous system and your brain is like confused, right? It wants that certainty of those lines of demarcation and environments to help you thrive. Okay. So start to think about where can we have some intention with each area? For me, I don't have a television and I don't own a couch. Okay. Since moving here, that's one thing I was like, nope, not getting a couch, not getting a TV. All right. But growing up, I wasn't allowed to have a television in my bedroom. Right. And then, so as an adult, I knew that like when I go in, like when I'm in the bedroom, I'm there to sleep. Right. So, and I'm a napper. So I shut my body down. When my body goes into the bedroom, like it sleeps. Right. And when I lay down, I set my alarm, I do a meditation, I nap or I sleep. Right. I'm not there to watch TV. So see how the brain can organize itself to set ourselves up for success in certain areas. So organize your space so that it's going to set you up for success, right? If you have food or television or all the electronics in your bed, you may not be sleeping well, right? All the blue lights or think about your curtains. Do you have black curtains? Do you have an eye mask? Do you have earplugs? Like, how's your environment? So number two, when you think about your home environment and you're sleeping, our sleep is so important. So is your home environment clear of declutter? And or do you have clothes all over the bed that you kind of, shake off to go to bed and then it's a pile on the floor? And then, or do you have that one closet that no one goes in, like that everything's just blah, it's a mess in there, right? So think about where can you declutter your closets, maybe your junk drawer, or maybe your refrigerator. So your home, this isn't meant to blame or shame anyone. I am in the fun zone. So like for me, my personality, I need fun and excitement and adventure. So like organizing and decluttering is not the first thing that I do, right? Because I want more fun. But what I will say is the second highest temperament in my life is structure and order. Right. So I study human behavior and personality styles. This is what I do in my programs and in my work. So I know that my top two personalities kind of clash sometimes. And so this is why I love to do these challenges and share these tips, because look, this isn't really fun for me. Like I just have to be intentional, right? I work at this. But I know that in order for me to go out and have more fun, I need a little bit of structure and order. So that's why I do these challenges and I have these habit trackers and I have these tools so that we could say, okay, what are we going to be intentional with today? And today, just today, our workspace, our home space, all right, what is going to set us up for success? Now, if you open your refrigerator, do you have expired food in there? I'm guilty of it. Like I'm going to go through on day 3 today on Wednesday in our in the 5-day bombshell boot camp, this decluttering and spring cleaning session that we're going to do in my free community every single day this week from noon to 1 Eastern. Day 3, we're going to focus on the kitchen and our junk drawer or maybe our refrigerator and start to think. So every day this week, we're going to focus on a different area of our life. And guess what? We're also going to go through relationships. So this just for this session here, we're just kicking this off with 3 areas of our life: our work in our office and our workout environment, our home, whether it be your closets, junk drawers, maybe your refrigerator. What is serving you and not serving you, right? Very important. Just a little reminder. And then number 3, when we are spring cleaning and decluttering, especially today, like I've been thinking so much about this. I'm in a big season of change and growth, and there's so much opportunity for what's to come in this next chapter. As I close out my military career, I'm also closing out my marriage. And so there's a lot and moving at the same time. Like there's a lot that's happening in my world. And then I'm leveling up in my business. I'm making changes in my business. And so this is a big change. And so what I found is that we have to recognize who is in our corner, who is in our life, and who was in the previous chapters that maybe not be going to the next chapter. So this can be a little bit challenging, right? And so this is what a lot of my programs go through. We kind of sort out and help to understand and declutter relationships, and also understand and declutter perhaps when we level up, we might need to release an identity or a relationship that we had or an expectation that we had about ourselves and a role that we played in a previous chapter. Okay, so this is like, it's not an identity crisis per se. I think we can call it a crisis, but I think we're constantly evolving and shaping and molding or molting, right? One of my first speeches when I joined Toastmasters many, many years ago, I knew I wanted to be a public speaker. I had an incredible mentor that said, you have gone through so much. You are going to be a motivational speaker someday. And so I started I joined Toastmasters to learn the skill of speaking and speaking on the fly and, organizing speeches and talks. I don't have any fancy studio. I hate a script, right? So I literally have a 3x5 card with 3 bullets. That's it. So my heart speaks to you and off of bullets. Maybe I need more structure. Is it working for me? I don't know. That's to be said. I'm still working each and every day. But my first scripted speech was called I'm molting. So snakes molt their skin, right? And so they stretch and they grow, and then they have the scales, and it leaves like, it's kind of gross actually, right? So they grow out of their skin. And humans, we do the same thing. Every 28 days, our cells rejuvenate and we molt and we exfoliate, right? And so the more we understand that we're growing and evolving, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Our skin, if you've ever gained weight, I've gained a lot of weight as I grew sideways in the wheelchair when I was a young age of 22. When you gain weight, your body, your skin stretches. It's uncomfortable. It sucks. And I have stretch marks to prove it. Right? So for those of you mamas out there, your body has evolved and shape, like your skin is stretching to the max, right? And sometimes it doesn't go back to what it used to. And that's okay, because we're consistently evolving and we have a new identity, and we're shaping and shifting and growing and molting and shedding old layers. So as we go into the next chapter, and I'm right here living proof right with you. And I love to share what's called the messy middle in my world, is that Why wait till we have evolved or gotten to the other side or healed? Like I like to share, like it's messy right here. Today is the day that I am retiring after 22 years in the military. I am like naked and afraid right now. I'll be honest. This is scary. It's uncertain. But I know that I have trust in myself, in God, in my abilities, in my gifts, and I am in alignment in pursuit of what is setting my soul on fire and the purpose and this next mission. And in order to do that, I know that there's going to be people that were in these previous chapters that are not going to take me to the next chapter, that are not going to be in the next level. And that's a difficult thing to manage and navigate, right? And so I think that just, it stinks. It really does stink. However, there's been so much beauty in this and opportunity. Moving here to Puerto Rico, I've met so many incredible people. I've met so many awesome people that are going to help fuel this next chapter. And I'm open for that opportunity. Okay. So there's 4 F's that I like to teach about relationships. So just something to consider. If you're taking notes here, I'm going to pause after this and then open up the stage for those of you who are on Breakfast with Champions. There's 4 F's that I love to train about relationships. And on day 4 of the 5-day bombshell bootcamp, this spring cleaning week that we're doing, we're going to go through the relationship declutter. So I'm going to do a deeper dive, but I just want to share with you a quick tip here. There's 4 F's of relationships. So there's people that you need to foster, people that are in your life. Maybe they're your neighbors, your sisters, your cousins, maybe an aunt that you haven't talked to in a while, people that you need to reach out to, right? We're not meant to do life alone. Foster the relationships that are here. My best friend here is Diana, right here in my house for the week. We are fostering and having incredible memories and fostering that relationship. I met her when I moved to Pittsburgh many, many years ago. And we have been able to foster that relationship over the years and over the many miles and the many moves. And so it takes intention. So what are you going to do to foster the relationships and the people that you value in your life? Okay. So that's number 1. Create those memories, reach out, and so foster. Then there's some that you might need to fix. Do you have some conflict? If there are some relationships that maybe you need to fix, all right? So recognize when there's conflict, it's typically an unmet need or a value misalignment. So if you were to think about, okay, let's do some research, let's take the emotion out of it, and let's just collect some data. And this is what we're going to go through in day 4 on Thursday. Is if you need to fix a relationship, think about what are my needs and values and what is the other person's needs and values. And is there a way that we can work together and come back together? If not, then we have the ones that we need to fire. Okay. And that doesn't mean that we need to tell them off or have the last word. We just need to fire them from our energy source so it's not sucking us dry and taking up all of our energy that we need to fuel ourselves forward. And sometimes those relationships that we need to fire, it leaves space and opportunity for you to find someone new to bring into your world that's going to take you and elevate you to the next level. And so in this season of change and growth for me, especially in business, I have been asking for mentors. I have been getting coached and mentored and finding people that I know that were in the previous chapter and being intentional and saying, okay, I need mentorship in this area of business. And I'm actively asking, I'm saying, I need a mentor in this area because I know that the network and the people in my life got me this far. But in order for me to go from A to B, and this rocket ship is going this year, I have huge, lofty goals for 2024. I know I need to find new people that are going to need to be in my corner and in my life to help take me to the next level. Okay. So we have foster, fix, fire, and then find. And if you love this message and you want to help, if you want me to help you continue to declutter and have small things to do each and every day, join me. The link is above, the Bombshell Bootcamp. It's a free course this week in my community, the Health is Wealth community. I'd love to have you and connect with you. We're hopping on a Zoom tonight, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing a decluttering challenge and a community networking event. So I get to see your beautiful faces. And we get to kind of do this work together and lean on each other and support each other and network. So with that, I'm going to land. I'd love to open it up to anybody here on stage. If you have questions, reflections, what stood out to you, I'll pause here, give you a moment to unmute. Anybody here in Breakfast with Champions care to share?
Just want to say thank you. I looked at my desk immediately, Crystal Lord. Looking you up, asked the question, and I was like, gosh, why am I feeling like such a drag with like my content creation today? And I was just like, oh, like when my environment feels cluttered, it clutters my mind. I don't know if other people experience that, but I felt like that was a perfect reminder, like that, no, it's not just me. Like, it's okay to tackle this today before you start your content creation. Like, it does matter. And when I feel like clear and clean in my space, and not only that, I had allowed some things to get into my exercise space. I love to stretch. Like, it's a big part of how I've been able to preserve my joint health and all of the things that I do physically throughout my life. And so I allowed things to creep up over the past month when I had emergency surgery. So thank you for this. I am challenged to make sure I do what I need to do each space at a time. So thank you, Crystal Lord.
Thank you so much for sharing health and sending you speedy recovery and prayers for you as you heal and recover from your surgery. So thank you for sharing that perspective. I think part of the messy middle is being vulnerable and saying, you know what? I don't have it all figured out. I'm not perfect. Like, I have a messy space. Like, that's okay. Right. And we're all human, and we're just trying to be better humans than yesterday. That's it. Small movements, huge results. Thank you for sharing. Who else would like to share? Anyone before we close the room?
Oh, good.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Hi, Tarika.
Good morning, Crystal. I just want to say congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you so much.
And I want to say happy, positive things for your future, even though that you're ending your divorce and moving on. I want to say best wishes to you. Change is good. So wishing you the best.
That's right. Thank you so much. Lots of opportunity. Always open for growth and opportunity, right? If you choose to. Thank you. Anyone else care to share?
I forgot to say thank you for your service. We appreciate you and all that you've committed to this country.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Who else wants to share? Anyone here?
Good morning, Crystal. This is Susana. And I came in almost to the middle of your section, but I love how you said that we need to reinvent ourselves. And that happens very frequently with us knowing that it's happening. And if we were intentional, like, what would that look like? And that's something that I'm working myself, having an intentional life, my home to have intentional spaces that whatever I need to do, I could just step into the thing that I'm doing and feel good about it. And yes, I have children, so I do have a messy home and I need to work on it. But having that intention to get that started, thank you for your share today, Crystal. And I really, really appreciate you. And thank you for your service. And as you said, some people are not meant to be in our lives. So I am sorry that you're getting divorced, but maybe you're going to be right. I don't know what to tell you, but I know it's painful. And I just want to send you a hug. Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you so much, Susanna. I appreciate you. And, when it comes to our home, if you have kids, right, use them, clean up, right? Or it might be like paint a wall, whatever's going to inspire you and help you rejuvenate. Paint a wall, get a pop of color, something that's going to inspire you. If you can't clean out your space completely, like, what is that one thing that you can do? I know I've been implementing that in my life too, just like a pop-up, even if it's a shirt that you wear, right, that can just change your mindset really quickly. Anyone else care to share before we close the room?
We have messages in the chat as well.
Sorry, let me check. Thank you so much for that reminder. Let's see. Pearls of Wisdom, Marine Veteran Spouse. Thank you, Michelle. All right. Thank you for your service. Good conversation. Thank you. Toya says she turns on the live stream of either Hawaii or Florida beach so she can hear and see the ocean. Yeah, if you have a computer screen you put on YouTube, like, you can have a beach, ocean right there. or you just come to Puerto Rico and visit me and I'll show you. We're actually doing a book retreat. So if you have a book, also May 14th to the 17th, Marcus Black actually helps me become an Amazon bestseller, and he has been an incredible resource for me. We're collaborating here in Puerto Rico. We're doing a book retreat. So right here on the beach of Puerto Rico to help get that message out to the world. So if you want to create more impact and you want to get your book out to the world, send me a message. I'll get you the link for the information, and you can join us here in Puerto Rico, get the ocean and that inspiration. All right. So send me a message if y'all have any questions, you need support. I'd love to have you at the Bombshell Bootcamp, the spring cleaning, your fitness and your business here this week, every single day from 12 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. I am going to open up my refrigerator and get a nice lunch and recognize that, maybe there's some salad dressings or some things in our refrigerator as you open it up today. Is there something that you need to declutter that isn't going to serve you in this next chapter? So I'm going to go open my refrigerator, and then I'll see you over in my free community today if you want to join us. If not, I'll see you here next week. Have a great day and make it a great week, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
You too.